with that type of sound, you know, we were saying earlier, the closure has to be super precise, because if the chords are kind of coming apart a little bit, it will feel like it pushes through a little bit, starts to get a bit airy, and the different vowels and stuff can confuse you at first. So you can work on that sound, but you have to find that little bit of bite on that light sound. So let's start you higher. Let's do this. See, that's very nice. Yeah, see, that one didn't coordinate like the last one. It doesn't need to come apart to get up high. Yeah, that's it. If you keep them together like that, it will keep thinning out. And you? Yeah. It's okay? It's mostly there. Now listen, as I get up higher, there's no extra volume. I don't necessarily need to do it louder. The reason it got louder then is because you're losing some release on the sound. So when we lose release, we tend to have to push a bit more air to kind of, it gets heavy and it starts to kind of lose that floaty feeling. So at first, as you go through there, you want to keep the volume, if anything, think of it as maybe coming down a little bit at the top. To where, well, it's pretty even, the volume. If anything, but if it starts to get louder, it's generally a sign that there's more weight coming. Keep the chords together and just keep it small at first until you can get through, because like you can get very tiny there and keep it in control, and then later on you can add some volume. But if you're losing grip on the coordination and it's starting to get louder, it's going to always kind of push through there. So the way to get rid of the ceiling is keep the vocal cords together, keep the volume under control, and thin out. You're doing it very nicely there. Here. Yeah. Now there, it's pushing. Keep the chords together. Make sure you feel You've got to feel that contact. When you don't feel the chords come together, it's going to push through and you're going to feel like it doesn't quite want to float up there. You've got to feel this contact. That feeling that you're latching onto before that one. Yeah. I feel that every time. Yeah, I never lose that at all. Okay. No matter how high I go now, the muscles are only going to be so strong. So at some point, I'm going to get to at the top of what I can do. But it's not the top in terms of pushing through and the chords coming apart. It's what's physically possible for my voice. Yeah, come down one and find it again. Yeah. Now this where we're getting, the reason it's tricky and it wants to thicken out is because this is another bridge. Right, you get through this second bridge here, when we get through here, the voice starts to thin out into head. As I get into these notes here, this E, F, sorry, C, D, yeah, the E, F, F sharp area here, the voice needs to transition again and thin out to the next kind of area in a sense. Like I feel, if you can kind of hear it, as I go through here, I can either stay in that area or I can let it thin out even more, and you'll hear the sound comes out the mouth and goes even more into the head. It starts to thin out even more, yeah? But as soon as I don't let it keep thinning out and it starts to get weighted, I'm gonna feel that hitting that glass ceiling. So the way you avoid hitting that glass ceiling is you feel this contact every time. You never let the chords come apart. See if you can feel it. There you go. That one thins out. You keep the contacts and don't ever contemplate that it's high. Just think about coordinating.
Okay.
One of the problems you get in is as soon as you think this is high, it's gonna cut you off. But you think about, what am I doing? Keep the vocal cords together. You won't feel the fear and it get inhibited up there. Very good. Here. Yeah, now it's coordinating up there. The volume's creeping up a little bit. Try and just bring the volume down a smidge. It's I guess I'm kind of just seeing if you can intuitively just find a way to not let the volume creep up. So bring those chords together, feel that little bit of contact, just keep it right in the same spot all the way through. Try not to add any squeeze at the top other than what you need to thin out with. There you go. Yeah. Feel that contact. Yeah, you tried for it, it's okay. Now here, as we get to the bottom, we've got to find a way to get back into chest. So I don't want it to get really loose like this. You've still got to find. Here I'm kind of finding that same pressure. When I go, I'm basically finding the same the same closure on both those pitches. So just as we need to find that contact on the way up, when we come down, we also need to find the contact. Otherwise, we'll find it goes there. Nice. There you go. It's pretty good. It got a little bit loose on the top. There you go. Good. Still got a smidge loose at the top. Yeah. Listen. Let me give you a better example. There you go, that one. Very good. Got a little light on the top note. You found it. Not there. Yeah. Very good. Very nice. Awesome, man. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now you're very lucky because you've got a lot of release already there. Yeah? Now, to do what you just did through that third bridge, like you did it, took me many years. And it took you 2 hours. So, to keep that in mind, like when you feel like, oh, it's not working, some people have it a hell of a lot harder than you're going to have it. Yeah, comparatively speaking, your journey is going to be very easy if you put in the work and you spend a few years really like mastering the fundamentals.